Apparently us Scorpion mains are just way too confident in ourselves. I was wrong, and Javier was wrong. So my favorite cameo in the game, Chameleon, this beautiful mofo right here, the Jade version of her actually ended up getting nerfed. It now scales way more damage-wise than it did before, which is a little weird because Serena glaives still aren't nerfed. Those do the same amount of damage, but Jade's glaive does scale much differently. Maybe it's because Jade's is a mid, but at the same time, Jade's disappear if you hit Jade, unlike Serena's who recall even if you start hitting the opponent. Like you throw out a poke but then still have to duck the final glaive. But I was right in my very first video when I was using Peacemaker. I was like, this damage doesn't feel right. Turns out, yeah, Chameleon did get nerfed. But let me take you down the rabbit hole of how I found something amazing for Scorpion but was also very wrong about something. I was on Twitter and I saw this video Javier posted of the new optimal Scorpion combo with Chameleon in the corner. And it's really, really cool. But this led to a whole lot of trouble in my future. As you can see, that did like 482 damage. It's pretty good. And you know, while impractical, I like to look at these Scorpion optimals that you maybe could use 1 in 1,000 times if you got the perfect setup with the perfect Chameleon rotation. So then naturally, I watched Javier's mid-screen optimal that he created, and still just as sick. I love seeing Chameleon used in all this. I'm seeing so many more Chameleon clips with Scorpion, and that's because there were a huge portion of Scorpion players that never moved on from Striker when Chameleon released. But with Striker's nerfs, all of you guys come here and give me a hug. I welcome all of you into the gang. This is where everything gets spicy. Aziz posted this clip of Scorpion. It's essentially just doing Javier's combo, but it includes Jade at the start of the combo. Again, this is one bar, by the way, one singular bar, 50%, and it starts with Jade. That's important because again, Chameleon got nerfed and it scales a ton if you use Jade in the combo. Javier quote tweeted it saying that's when Chameleon wasn't nerfed, ... Javier also replied to Aziz's tweet. This is starting with Jade, but mine was with Katana. Aziz kind of clapped back with ... saying new optimal combo in the corner with Chameleon, basically saying that combo wasn't optimal that Javier hit first. Javier kind of gets spicy, and honestly, Javier kind of makes himself look a little bad here because he's just flat out wrong, and we'll get there. You can see it in the screen, Katana starts, but you need it right there to understand. I think he's just saying you need me to write it out to understand. Aziz replies ... and you don't mess with the tech master like that. I love Javier, but you are playing with fire here. This guy clarifies, basically he's saying there seems to be a more optimal combo if you start with Jade. Javier goes, that's not the optimal. That's when Chameleon wasn't nerfed. Aziz though, coming in sneaky, are you saying that that combo was from pre-patch? Before the Chameleon nerf, in quotes. Yeah, says Javier. And Aziz goes, and why do you think the combo that I posted was from pre-patch and not from the current patch? Oh, things are heating up in the Scorpion community. I love it. I love Scorpion drama. It's the best because we're all just fighting over scraps here at the bottom tiers. This is when I see the thread, so I end up replying to Aziz's part. I said, is this before or after the Chameleon damage nerf? This combo is nuts regardless. And Aziz replies after current patch. So Aziz is a bit of a troll. So this is where I got skeptical a little bit. Like, I wasn't calling it flat out wrong, but Aziz has been known to trick the entire Twitter MK community. I remember this one clip, if I can find it, I'll play it on screen right now, that had everybody calling for NRS to be like banned off the planet because they thought it was real. Turned out to be a neat editing trick. You could tell with like the timer, and you could tell that like names disappear and stuff like that. It's pretty well done. But thus, I didn't know if the damage was actually real. So this is when I start getting involved in the actual conversation between Aziz and Javier. I replied, I just did the combo and it does 46% now. So now, before we go through more tweets, let me show you the combo I was doing. Again, it is the exact same combo that Aziz showed doing 50 something. And look at it. I was like, oh, this does 46 because again, I just did the combo. And it's actually like 454, but I rounded up to 46. Aziz replies, make sure the third and fourth hit of the combo connect at the same time to reduce the scaling, his forward 3 and the glaive returning. I said, yeah, you are trolling, ha ha ha. Captain Dante essentially reiterates what Aziz says about timing them together, and I said I literally am doing it right now and it add 0.5%. My grammar is atrocious, apparently. So then at this point, Aziz links me the slowed down clip of it connecting at the exact same time. And that was very sweet of Aziz to do that, but at this point, I didn't even believe that was real because I had been doing that. Like, I swear I was labbing it for 30 minutes, just timing 4-3 and glaives, and it just wasn't doing the same damage. So I replied, I can link you this exact same thing, and it does nothing anymore, haha. Captain Dante comes back in, helping me out again, talking about this with a Liu Kang combo, and I said, I'm certified being trolled. I just did it as a carbon copy. Before glaive, exact timing of glaive, and after glaive. I was trying literally everything possible. I just kept going though, saying how tight is the timing then? I mean, in like 100 attempts, I would assume it would land. Gonna need you to get on live stream as proof, because for now, I'm calling this cap. I've timed this up to the limits of human synchronization. I was like here on the screen, looking at the molecular properties of the glaive versus Scorpion's knee. And then it happened. It happened. Yeah, everyone knew it was coming. It happened. I tweeted back to Aziz, I owe you an apology. And then made my own tweet. I should have believed the master of tech Aziz. This combo is in fact real. The first clip is when you get the correct glaive timing, and the second is what the damage will be 99% of the time, lol. Javier, this is in fact current patch. So you already saw what the combo looks like 99% of the time. If you just normal come in here with Jade and then go for your 4-3-2, you already saw what the damage would be, 45.5. Jade Glaive doesn't scale correctly if you hit at the exact same time because it treats it as a hit in the counter and like gives you the damage for the hit and all that, but because it doesn't actually hit stun the opponent, it doesn't count towards scaling at all. So before I show you the combo, because this is huge, this gives you an extra 6-7% potentially, and this works for all characters. A big one is you don't want to hear the sound of the glaive hitting the opponent as it recalls. For Scorpion's example, and probably the example for every other character, you want the hit to jump from 2 right there straight to 4. You never want to see 3 pop up at all. Make sure it goes 2 to 4. But just replace that with whatever number in the combo for your character. Lastly, for Scorpion, you want the damage to say when it says hit 4 to either be 163 or 164. If it says anything else, you did not get it correctly. That's right. That's 157. It is not 163 or 164. If I do it early, this still isn't right. It says 161.89, but again, it is not 163 or 164. You are going to scale the exact same way. Right there. You see that? 163.10. And you didn't hear glaive hit. It's hard to time. It has to literally be perfect, but that removes all scaling. I did it too early, but 488 right there. That sucks because I should have just delayed Jade and I would have gotten it. Look, that was already 488 versus the other combo was 454 total. And right there, I didn't even get the Melina size into back 2 into the dash right here. I didn't get any of that, and I was already at 488. So this glitch is interesting. I mean, if you work on it a lot, it's not impossible. I did it in like 3 or 4 tries right there. It's not a 1-frame link, I don't think. It might be a 1-frame link, but honestly, it doesn't feel as hard as like an MKX 1-frame link. I don't know, it's really weird to me because I have been told it's a 1-frame link. However, I've gotten it more than I ever got MKX 1-frame links, but also I've gotten better at this game over the years. And it's like Mortal Kombat 1 is just always full of these surprises. No matter what character, what patch, what anything we are playing, there is always something somewhat buggy and broken, but in this instance, if the character was gonna be nerfed anyways, this has gotta be one of my favorite bugs ever because it's actually kind of a skill gap thing. Like, if you can learn the chameleon timing well enough with your character, you unlock 5 or 6 extra % damage, and it's like kind of a skill check for you. That's awesome. So yeah, I was wrong. I was very, very wrong, and you know what? I was just telling you guys about it so you can lab it with your character. I just am pretty embarrassed. Javier hasn't spoken since, you know, it got exposed that it is current patch. Yeah, I think he's feeling the same way I am right now, but yeah. Aziz was also super nice about it as soon as I realized I was wrong, so huge shout out to him. Again, you know, check out his Twitter if you haven't already. That's gonna be it for today's video. Make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.